Flyers, Cubs, White Sox, Blackhawks, and the AVP. All at home in Chicago. A beautiful look at the skyline in Chicago, Illinois, as our 2024 Chicago Open. The final Heritage Series event of the year continues. Bring your bucket hats and your sunscreen. Come on out and visit us this weekend as the hot AVP beach volleyball action continues. We go to the women's side. Kelly Cheng as Sara Hughes taking on Kylie Deberg and Hailey Harward as the women once again. Once again joined by Cameron Irwin. Here we go, Cam. Another women's matchup, and this is a rematch from Manhattan Beach.
It's going to be so interesting. I love what I've seen from Deberg and Harward, just the dynamic, how physical they can be, and I'm really curious what they're going to do because back at Manhattan Beach, Deberg was dealing with an ankle injury, so I'm curious to see how she's recovered and how physical she can be at the net.
Yeah. Is kind of the classic meeting between these two. Harward, an outstanding and physical defender in transition.
She is so phenomenal in the backcourt, but what I love watching her do is stay aggressive in transition. She is unafraid to take a cut at the ball, swinging into the depth of the court, and I am so stoked to see what she can do against this offense on the other side that is at the top tier in the world.
It went 3 sets. It was 15-13 in Manhattan Beach. We are in for another top quality match, coming off our most exciting match of the day. On the men's side, do we get a similar thrilling effort on the women's side? Let's give it to Mark Sherman. Introductions right now.
And we are all set, yes, let's do it. We got 2 matches to go here on this gorgeous Friday in Chicago. Well, let's meet the teams. This first player originally out of Hudson, Iowa, ladies and gentlemen, and another player who played beach volleyball at LSU. Oh my goodness, what's happening over there at Louisiana State? Ladies and gentlemen, she is real good up there at the net, and she has had a great start to her very young AVP career so far. Let me hear it for Kylie Deberg. And her partner, she's a fan favorite wherever she goes, out of Phoenix, Arizona, played ball at Long Beach State, played at the University of Southern California, another big-time school for beach volleyball in the NCAA. You know her, you love her. Let me hear it for Hailey Harward. And their opponents, also out of USC. They were many-time national champions. They are the reigning world champions. They are Olympians, ladies and gentlemen. First up out of Costa Mesa, California. Let's hear for the defender, Sara Hughes. And her partner, out of Fullerton, California, now a 2-time Olympian. Man, sitting there during that first match, sitting with Jordan, saying, like, she is doing some things at the net, you just can't teach it, ladies and gentlemen. She's got that innate skill. Let me hear it for Kelly Cheng.
Players have taken the sand. Cameron, you've been going through the stats from earlier for Deberg and Harward.
Harward was on a riot in their first matchup, and it was tough. This is an important tournament for this team because they are currently in 7th place in league standings. She went 19 kills on 32 attempts, just 1 error. She had 563 in the first round against the 10 seed. She also added in 22 digs in that 3-set match.
Yeah, she was 7 of 10 in the deciding 3rd set. That went 15-13.
Yeah, I'd stay away from her too here.
Right over the top goes Kylie Deberg. As you heard Mark mention, product of LSU, that beach program pumping out some top flight talent.
Deberg and Harward are going to need a 5th or better to improve upon their league standings. A win here would be huge for them.
The late arriving Kylie Deberg just missed that one off the hand of Kelly Cheng. Cheng and Hughes went through Kina and Anderson to get here. It was 21-11, 21-13. A rather efficient and lethal performance from Cheng and Hughes, the Olympians. They hit 556 in that one for the match. See if they can do the same against the big block of Deberg. She goes with the jump serve here on Cheng. Tight to the net and puts it away.
That's what tough service pressure can bring you. The first contact too tight, goes awry. Love the pressure from Deberg at the back line. I know she barely missed that, but again, you have to stay aggressive from the service line. In order to take down a team like this, got to get them out of system.
Deberg looking to fill the corner, just misses that one.
3-3.
I spoke to Deberg before Manhattan Beach and asked her what she's particularly working on. One of the biggest aspects was kind of using that spread offense and more of the option play.
Hughes perfectly placed in that corner. Transition. Piece of it by Deberg. She's been a factor at the net already, and it's paying off, utilizing her size at 6'4", the Hudson, Iowa native.
I mean, how about a change in direction? Look at this. Harward goes all the way to her left and then scampers across the court to be able to pick that up on the right side of her body. An incredible adjustment by Hailey Harward.
Harward, originally out of Phoenix, played at Long Beach State, followed by USC. National champion in 21 and 22. Pair of the year in 22, 34-1 alongside whom? Cameron Irwin, you know the answer to this trivia question? Tina Gradina. Of course, an Olympian herself.
Tina Gradina, one of the most creative blockers I've ever seen play the game. So fun to watch.
Harward lets that one pass her by. Says she has a rather good repertoire of dad jokes. We could maybe have a dad joke off. We could have some sort of competition of terrible jokes. I once called the Chicago radio station growing up here and said, did you hear about the baker who wanted to open up his own bakery? I said, yeah. I said, yeah, but he couldn't raise the dough. I think about 5th grade at the time, called into the radio show. They hung up on me. Still traumatic to this day. You need to talk to somebody about it, Cameron.
And that's how Kevin Barnett started his broadcasting career.
That's right. John Landecker, I think was his name. The host in the evening on WGN Radio. 5-6, competitive open here. Deberg and Harward in the teal and white. And the black-clad Cheng and Hughes, reigning world champs, top U.S. team that went to the Olympic Games. Tough serve right down the middle. Harward in the middle. She will roll it off of her right side and down. 6 apiece.
Really nice control from Hailey Harward. A little bit of distance between her and the net, but still has great touch and command to be able to find that short angle.
She reminds me a lot of Heather Bansley, longtime successful player for Canada. In her stature, her strength, upper body, the power to get out of the sand and then attack the ball lethally.
7-6.
About the same size at 5'9". Kelly Cheng, serve and block. That ball too tight to the net, just wide left.
And this is what you want to do from the service line. Kind of attack some of those outer edges of the service reception, attacking the sidelines and forcing that uncomfortable contact, trying to bring that ball back to the interior.
Team switching side at 8-6, and wind is not a factor. There is 0 wind here in Chicago for the moment. The lake nice and glassy. You see the flags there above stadium. Barely a push onto the old Stars and Stripes. Oh, big block by Cheng. Cue DJ Rochelle.
Talk about some timing from Kelly Cheng. She actually went a little bit wide with this block. Watch her arms. They kind of come out and around, suffocating that ball.
That ball could not be revived, sadly. That ball too tight. Cheng all over it, retreating, and she'll get the dig. Oh, covers herself on the run. Tied on wide left. That would, a better finish would have been a win there for Cheng and Hughes at that point.
Deberg and Harward 7-9.
Nevertheless, a fun play, 9-7.
But this is what top teams are able to do. I know she finds the error here, but still taking swings on an extended rally. That is what can make one of the biggest differences, especially in transition play.
Nice setup, a difficult play. Hughes saves it.
Well, and you said it, Kevin, that set was superb. A little bit of a tight and shortened pass, but able to scoop underneath. Great lift, getting them back in system.
Hughes and Cheng 23 and 8 against the other teams in the field. Deberg not only through the top of the block, also in on the back line.
Really high contact for Deberg. Not easy to go over the block of Kylie Cheng.
Not to be outdone, Kelly blasts that one right back through the block as well.
Deberg and Harward are aiming right now for Kylie Cheng in the side-out game. She's done a nice job with that first contact. A few have been a little tight, but so far so good in the side-out for Cheng and Hughes.
Line executed. Hughes retreated and got it, and then cut him up for the point. 12-8.
The soft cut from Sara Hughes. They were even defensively playing that direction, but she takes the pace off the cut shot as well, dropping that in front. Little baby cut for you.
There's a baby serve, too. Short drop, middle, winner, point. We head to the technical timeout, 13-8. Hand in hand go Cheng and Hughes with a 5-point lead.
Left him looking. I mean, there's nothing better than a soft serve for an ace.
I prefer hand scoop to soft serve. Personally, Cam.
I like the soft serve.
Everybody's trying to get a victory here in Chicago to guarantee their participation in the league, and that would apply to Sara Hughes and Kylie Cheng as well. They currently sit 4th in points, but you can just jump yourself right over the current rankings into the teams qualified with a win here in Chicago.
It would be huge, but I still am circling Kylie Deberg here and Hailey Harward. They're in a must-win. They have to find a 5th or better to improve upon their points from the Heritage Series events. They have a 5th and a 9th already, so that would be huge for them to try and jump above. Therese Cannon, Maycraft in action right now, too. Keep your eyes locked on them and what they're able to put together.
Everyone wanted to extend their summer season. In 2 weeks' time, we will be at the UCLA Tennis Center for event number 1 of AVP League. A new day has dawned, and we will have 9 weeks of continuous action across the United States before reconvening in Los Angeles for the final event at Dignity Health Sports Park. Look at the champions here in Chicago. A couple of back-to-backs in the last 4 years. If you go back to 2017, it was Hughes and Cheng who picked up the victory.
The youngest duo to do so at the time.
I wonder if that will ever be broken with the amount of talent that's coming out of college. Well, here's the thing, though, Cameron. You're nodding your head yes, and I don't disagree with you on the surface, but think about as the talent comes in, how quality that talent is, how big and strong the field is, along with that swing from Deberg. Wow. That was like a slide, inside move. But as you have more talent fill into the field, the level continues to rise, and I think it gets harder and harder to slot in there with a victory when you're 22.
Well, and you make a great point. I'm going to have to hit up our statistician, Dougie Strauss, because I think there may have already been a team to have broken that title record.
Well, that's a good point.
I think of Cloth and Nuss at the time in Atlanta.
That's a great call.
But I don't know because they were also later on, I think they were 5th-year seniors. So I need to do some of the math.
As opposed to like 7th or 8th year seniors.
Which there are some of those.
14-10 to Deberg and Harward. Estelle on Deberg here. Cheng with the kill. pulling dig to kill is something we saw in match number 1 from Kelly Cheng as well.
Cheng, one of the best at pulling off the net and finding a dig. And it's not just about pulling and kind of finding that platform. The contact she's so good at is that overhead contact coming back off the net. Great control and redirecting that to her partner.
Deberg with some heat.
Quite honestly, I'm trying to think of ways to attack Cheng when she's pulling off the net, and because she's so good overhead, I might actually consider trying to drop it either short in front of her and not allow her to really use those overhead contacts.
Okay, as opposed to driving it right at her, which is the traditional thought process, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Cross-body winner there for Cheng.
1 point to the side switch at 16-11.
Late move to Cheng, not high enough to get a hold of Deberg. Use all of her height and power again on that one. So they're holding steady at this point in the match, but they're still trailing by 4.
Yeah, and check this swing out from Deberg. Instead of going crossbody, which you often see, she actually just kind of takes a little bit of a left side lean and opens up those shoulders to create power down the line.
21 and up. Sorry, kiddos. Just 2.
Notice the sunglasses up on top of the visor. For Kylie Deberg, we've had alternate sunshine and cloudy conditions, but a warm Chicago today. Expected to cool off and be beautiful in the weekend. Is that in? Oh, it looks like it's right on the cable. Practically landing on the ring.
We always talk about ball in hand contact, and that was flawless from Kelly Cheng because you can see how much action that ball had on it. The amount of topspin based off of just a contact and a wrist roll was a thing of beauty.
Deberg right to Hughes. Hughes chips it off Deberg. Nice turn. Can she get a hold of another one? No, it'll be her partner Harward who's under it. And doesn't have to put it away. That one trickles over the net.
Okay, disciplined defense from Hailey Harward. Even the check down, they made eye contact, her and Cheng did in the middle of Cheng's approach, but she stayed in the angle and she was rewarded for it, picking up the cut.
That ball is wide from Hailey Harward.
They've changed their target a bit here. Had been going at Cheng.
Harward a passion for singing off the court or on the court.
Yeah, and how epic was the national anthem during Manhattan Beach?
Pretty incredible to see the other talents that these outstanding female athletes have.
In case you missed that moment, Hailey Harward singing the national anthem in Manhattan Beach. The mic cut out. She sung alongside every single fan.
Oh, the crowd picked her right up.
It was amazing.
It was awesome.
Super cool moment.
Nice smile there from Deberg, who ripped off that ace crossbody. 15-18. Gonna need a little bit more of that. This one more down the middle. Cheng, perfect opportunity. Again, Hughes with the platform.
That is the perfect point for Kelly Cheng. If you were to ask her what's your favorite thing in volleyball, it would be this right now. The swing and the scream.
Look of disgust afterwards. That one trails long. Unfortunate break for Deberg and Harward. 19-16, Cheng and Hughes. Close to it here in the first set.
You know, it's rather funny. Earlier today, we had a matchup where there were 3 Tigers on Stadium Court. Now we got 3 Trojans.
One straight across, right here. Here we go. Let's go.
You can see the influence of those top flight programs. Of course, our buddy Dayton Blanton leading the Trojan program now. He was a part of it back when these two were there. He was one of the assistant coaches. Now taken over his head and has won 16 straight national championships. Oh, check that number, Cam. It was different?
Yeah, I believe it was 4.
4. Okay, 4.
4 consecutive. Yeah, and the products they craft currently out on our outer court coverage.
Well, all kinds.
4 national titles to her name.
The aforementioned Tina Gradina.
It is 2016. It is
smooth side out there, and it's set point for Cheng and Hughes. Deberg and Harward in just their 3rd AVP together. Finished 5th in Huntington. Harward back quickly and efficiently to the corner.
I mean, her foot speed was wild, picking up that ball off the top of the net. It was like there was no problem. If anyone else was out there, they would have been full frogging it forward for a dive on that first contact. Great play from her.
Second set point chance. Check down, put down from Kelly Cheng. And the first set is history, 21-17.
Cheng and Hughes, 21-17.
Kelly Cheng only had one joint in her arm right now, would be her wrist, because she is just dictating terms on the swing.
Come on over here with me. You've already got that bag. You can stay there. Yeah, very nice.
Cheng and Hughes
nice.
looking confident,
All right, here's the deal.
playing confident. They're up 1-0, looking to
Cheng?
close their Friday with a second set win.
How about a little magic, huh?
Yeah, baby, that is right. It is time. Ladies and gentlemen, I could not be happier to be right here, right now. We're in Austin, Dallas, Texas, for San Diego. Get involved and have a reaction out here.
September to November, you're going to feel the heat of summer with the AVP League. We're looking forward to that, but not before we complete our play here on Stadium Court in the Chicago Open. Deberg and Harward, 227 in that first set. Boy, the 526 looming pretty large offensively for Cheng and Hughes. At what point, Cameron Irwin, do you switch your strategy? They were serving Cheng in that first set. She responded by hitting 615.
Yeah, and you saw it late in that first set. They kind of made that switch. They tried to target Hughes, however, made some service errors out of bounds. So look for them to see exactly where they attack. I imagine they'll start on Hughes to try and cool off Cheng to start this off. Cheng and Hughes in their 17th AVP.
And we haven't seen a lot of options either in the first match or this one from Kelly Cheng. It's been pretty straightforward offense.
The other thing that's notable from Cheng and Hughes is icing out Hailey Harward. She's only had 7 attempts.
Yeah, only 2 kills, hitting 0. And misses that one as it picks up a little bit of air and heads long. Not due to the wind, though. Still 0 wind here and a little bit cooler temperatures prevailing for the moment. Short serve, did not quite find the sand, but off balance. Our Deberg and Harward, doesn't matter.
Right
They
up the
regain their
middle for
equilibrium.
1-1.
What I'd love to see from Deberg and Harward in this second set is bringing the fire. When I spoke to both of them, they said one of their greatest strengths is the intensity, the fire that they can bring. How do you do that? Big swings and big blocks. Let's see if Deberg can put one on.
Harward charging under. And her partner putting it away.
And those are points you have to build off of if you're Harward and Deberg. Build the energy, play in this sort of environment, and use the fans to your advantage.
Man, I love the dig from Harward there. The forward momentum to pick that ball up. Here they go to Hughes. Line the call, Harward runs under it. Chance to transition, yes, it's good. 3-1, nice open.
Talk about a hitting window for Hailey Harward. That ball just slightly inside. Great footwork to get in there. And brings this right back to the line, cross body. This is all vision from the hitter. Check that out.
Deberg continues at the line. They stay on Hughes. Option taken and converted. I'm not sure that was deliberate, but you'll take it. The reaction of Kylie Cheng.
The level has undoubtedly increased already just in the first 5 points alone in the second set. That's where you're starting to see a little bit of that pressure, the option coming into play.
Scramble just over. And then put away. Everyone off balance there.
They're tied at 3.
Deberg and Harward have to figure out the short serve. They are just getting destroyed on this. You saw the ace where both of them were looking in set number 1, and there's been a handful more that they're out of system on the short ball.
Trying to go short again was Cheng, went a little bit too long. That ball is dug high. This will have to go over. And an option missed.
Switch it for 3.
I actually think they were trying to force Deberg to the high chest more so on that serve, kind of that high floaty ball, and force her to move both forward and backward. They're giving her a lot of looks from the service line right now.
Yeah, I would think at 6'4", you'd want to do what a lot of teams did to Sara Pavin or Alex Kleiman early on and push her all the way to the back line and make her run a whole bunch in the match.
Try and wear out the blocker.
Crafty, beautiful hands. Cameron, you love that. That's your favorite.
Oh, that was buttery.
Angle, it's 4-4.
I want more. Kylie Cheng, look at this soft touch. That ball could have hit itself.
Hughes again, into the net this time. 5-4 advantage to Deberg Harward.
Just a bit rushed on that serve. A little bit of a low toss.
Line the call, executed by Sara Hughes.
And sometimes you just have to go hats off. That's a really tough serve, but an even better pass from Sara Hughes. The way you can tell is look how in system, in relaxed Kylie Cheng is on that second contact, just standing up at the net, waiting to deliver that ball.
Deberg good at the option herself, turns and kills that one. The one-time attacker for Illinois, Missouri, then LSU.
So fun to see her on the AVP. She comes from a really small town. Only about 2,000 people in her town. She said she graduated with a class of only 32 kids.
Are you talking about Hudson, Iowa?
Yes.
Another kill for Kylie Deberg.
They're coming for you, Kevin.
Finally, the chopper is here. I'm going to get to it. Get out of town. That one ticks the tape. Both top and bottom. Opportunity. Harward in transition, swings long.
Just out of bounds, long, wide.
Trying to run a push set to the pin. Hailey Harward increasing the angles, but finding too much on that one.
It is 6 serving to 7.
Deberg's been seeing a lot of serves. She was reflecting in January and said that upon reflection, she should be a defender. I'm not sure what reflection that was. Because she's awfully good at the net.
I mean, that's defense in its own way.
Sure.
We switch sides, 8-6.
She did say JK.
I was going to say.
Before set number 3. We had 5 straight set matches on Stadium Court.
Her favorite things to do are spend time with her family.
Last one.
She said that she has a very weird family. I'm not sure that's good. Actually, I'm quite sure that's good. My family also weird.
Except for Arian.
Well, you have to have a little things to balance it out. Jump serve Deberg. This one clips the tape. Cheng was off balance. No hands this time, but the cut is there again for Hughes. Would you like thinly sliced? Would you like it shaved? How do you like your deli?
I mean, this is just filthy from Sara Hughes. Off balance, falling to her right side, and still makes that kind of contact.
9-7, 2-point lead approaching the midway point. Deberg and Harward going to try and push after that first set loss to a third set. Would be our second in a row here on Stadium. Kevin Barnett alongside Cameron Irwin. And a serve will increase the lead to 3.
Harward with the ace, and it is 10-7.
I feel like all 4 of these athletes, until this point, still trying to find their service rhythm. Cheng and Hughes already 7 service errors on their side. Deberg and Harward 5 on theirs.
That one blasted through the hands of Harward. Short serve again into the tape. Everybody off balance. You're right about that short serve, Cameron Irwin. That is eating him up. Their lead is down to 1. How do you counteract that? What do you do if you're getting served short all the time? 2
options. You either scoop forward and force them to serve over the top of your head, or you're more anticipatory of it. Take that little half step right as soon as they're serving, almost bait them into it.
Off balance again. That's a good opportunity here for Cheng, who checks down and hits it off the block and out of bounds. There goes the lead. It's 10-all. Technical timeout coming after this point.
Hard to block a ball with your forearms. Really want to get those hands so that you can redirect. You're trying to shape around that ball.
Still going to Deberg. Good run up there, and she executes the drop. So it'll be 11-10. Most of the lead lost, 1 point regained as we head to a technical timeout. Outer court action occurring now. Betsy Flint, Julia Scholes, 25-23 over Therese Cannon and Megan Kraft.
So there's nowhere else to go. On tight ball, you block the ball. She has no angle, she has no line, she has no seam. That's how you pad up the stats. All right, look, there's a little intensity from you because it's passion. I know we're better. There's 4 games and we air in the net, we get a tight set, we get blocked. The only block for every game is tight set. In the right spot,
Winner here.
You have the alley option, go for it. Otherwise, not run 5 of the game. Keep it simple.
Jordan Cheng quite active in the box here for Cheng and Hughes.
We talked about him giving actionable items coming back out of the box. Really nice in terms of having a coach that can give you something to hang on to focus on without it being some massive adjustment, but the little moves that you can make that could be the difference between 1 to 2 points in a set.
I wonder where Jordan's notebook is. I don't see it anywhere. Jordan.
It's in his head. He doesn't need it anymore.
Doesn't need it anymore. It's gone digital. All right. Deberg with a foot fault there. It's on a line move.
I was going to say more like neurological.
It's gone full neuronet.
On the board, 11-11.
Cameron Irwin, it's past lunchtime, but French fries are on the board.
You just had to.
Haven't done it today. First time. Short serve still killing him. Deberg hits her way out.
How many times until you see the adjustment?
Our other outer court action, Wyatt Harris and Brian Miller are trailing Phil Dalhausser and Avery Drost in that matchup. Harrison and Miller, one of the very few lower seeds to take a victory here in Chicago so far. A victory over the Taylors, and Taylor Craig playing in full shoes. If you haven't seen that highlight, reportedly having a foot issue.
It's all over the internet. Everybody's seen it.
Yeah, not necessarily everybody. I wish you would have worn knee pads to go with it. Just complete the look.
You went full old school though. The high socks were a nice touch.
Yep, bold. A bold choice, Taylor Crabb. Huge block from Cheng.
Hit hard, block harder.
Her third block is 12.
That was like the right mitt of Kelly Cheng.
didn't even have to fully dive on that ball. That's how physical she is. She caught herself so that she could get up that much quicker and go attack.
Harward you're talking about.
Yeah.
Looks so good on those line runs. Squeezing short serve to the middle. Forcing a little bit of technical expertise out of Deberg, and she's up to the task.
I like the move there. Instead of having to dive completely forward, you always want to try and stay on your feet a bit more in beach volleyball. So she goes down to a knee, allows herself to really get up, back into the side out, and attack more quickly.
Hughes will slice that one. We've seen her go crossbody. Now this was wrist away.
This is quickly becoming one of her favorite shots. Loves to turn this ball back to the line. It's so hard to defend up at the net because you're already trying to cover now, what, 50 to 60% of the court?
Rangy Sara Hughes. That one goes a little bit wide. Deberg and Harward continue to carry the lead, now 15-13. Deberg with just one block in this match so far. You know, she would like to pick up a couple here. Did she get a piece of it? No, that ball is wide. There's another point. 16-13 the advantage. Might be timeout time over there.
Not quite yet, but you mentioned the block. Even though she doesn't come away with a block point, that is a really solid sealed net and forced error by Deberg.
Chip winner. As I said, we have not seen a ton of the option there. It's a win, 16-14.
Little no jump for Kelly Cheng. Her peripheral is so impressive. To be able to lock in on that pass and still see the block out of her left eye.
Option right back at you. 17-14. Time for Cheng and Hughes, but it's running short against Deberg and Harward here in the second set. One more match on Stadium here today from Chicago for you on Valley Live. That ball is cut just
so
wide
close,
left.
but it
Picked
is
up a full of bases, and
timeout.
this one has Deberg with that kind of side spin serve to line.
I do like that toss better for her, though. Goes with a bit of a higher ball. Gives herself more time to get her feet there.
This option hit right to Hughes. Reading the court and hitting the winner.
You said it. Reading it perfectly. She's been seeing that option time and time again. And
we're tied.
Three straight
You have to have a
for
closing
Cheng and Hughes.
move.
It's all tied at 17.
Whether it's
We're
a
gonna
leg
take
drop.
team timeout.
Or maybe a suplex, a DDT. We saw one earlier from Trevor Crabb and Theo Brunner. It was a 10-1
Well,
run.
Cheng and Hughes
It
were
was the
able to
closing
tie up
move.
at 11 as well.
17-piece
With
time
Deberg and
ball.
Harward got the lead back
what?
out
From
to
the top
3.
rope.
Can't remember more, but Jimmy Superfly Snuka.
Cheng and Hughes looking to close out his straight sets.
We want. Okay, when you get our line.
Look at our top seeds and how they performed here thus far.
Yes,
Number
correct.
8, the only one that has taken a loss.
Yeah, you
Flint
don't want to leave
Scholes,
her.
of course, would probably factor here. We saw Jimena Paredes and Wilkerson, their return to the AVP, looking so
I'm
sharp.
gonna ask you to level up.
And it's so impressive, too, because they really haven't been back on a beach volleyball court since taking that silver in Paris. And what a matchup that was. Them versus Brazil in the final. The amount of fireworks, the emotion, the passion. I mean, that team was so lights out once they got into the playoff round of Paris. It was so fun to watch.
Fun to watch from the stands here in Chicago. It's turned into a beautiful day. A lot of heat was expected. Instead, we have a light breeze, a little bit of humidity, and a nice, warm, partly cloudy stadium court. This is a perfect Midwestern day to enjoy the best beach volleyball on the planet, making its 30-year return to Chicago. First ever tournament event happened in 1984. Hughes in transition tries to poke it deep, not over Harward. Hughes, Cheng, Sam.
Cheng and Hughes.
You better have a V8 motor to be up against Cheng and Hughes because they are relentless right now. Picking up the lead here, but it's the extended rally, the effort on full display that's gotten them to this point.
Cheng and Hughes starting to thrive. Cheng with 3 blocks. Hughes with 10 digs. Harward matching that at 11, but the offensive output not quite there. 261 to -67. That ball is missed. Looking at the service errors. Both teams kind of going for it. That's going to be 9 for Cheng and Hughes, 7 for Deberg and Harward. 18 apiece, seconds. Race to 3. Started on Cheng, they've gone Hughes here in the second. And Hughes is starting to pick up the pace.
People don't realize how difficult that set is from Cheng. The ability to have those hands out in front of you and still have such a linear ball straight up and down is just so impressive because your wrists don't actually function quite like that. So she has to have the right release from the elbow to the wrist for that up and down set.
Hughes digs another. And puts it away. Give you an idea of how that's picked up. Hughes just 6 attempts, 2 kills in the first set. Here in the second, 18 attempts, 7 kills. Match point, Cheng and Hughes. Deberg will go behind. Cheng will cover. And this one's over in 2.
What a comeback in set number 2 for Cheng and Hughes.
Epic fire from those
They
two.
take it 21
Trailing in the
17,
second set, and then they just went lights out. They targeted Sara Hughes in the second, and she came up huge, as does Kelly Cheng with that block.
Let's hear it one more time for these 4 athletes, everybody. Kylie, Hailey,
You love a
Sara,
symbiotic
Kelly.
partnership that just picks up first set. A lot of serves for that woman right there, Kelly Cheng. She was up to the task, so you force your opponent to change gears. And guess who's up to the task? Your partner, Sara Hughes.
A look back at some of the highlights now. Kelly Cheng from the start, good block pressure. I love the way they attacked in transition and made sure they were really moving that ball around from right to left. And not to mention, I know they had several service errors. That's going to be something they're going to have to pick up as this tournament continues. However, the pressure on the short serve, they stuck with it. They knew what was working, and they continued to stay disciplined throughout this matchup.
Cheng and Hughes are going to move on to Saturday in the winners bracket, and they're going to face the winner of Humana Paredes and Wilkerson versus Rodriguez and Urango. So it could be, if the Canadians come out of there, it could be an Olympic showdown for these two in the next round. Harward and Deberg, they will head off to the contenders bracket, but another fairly strong performance from them against a tough team. They seem just a little bit away from that top level.
I would agree with it. They are just a handful of points, kind of turning some of those extended rallies their direction. That could be a huge lift for them moving forward.
You're a handful of moments away from seeing a #1 seed, Cloth and Nuss, take on Simo and Van Winkle, one of the hottest young teams on the AVP. That'll be our next match on Stadium, the women round of 8.